Hi, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the updates that have been made on the new hire and dehire checklists. A few areas on the dehire checklist, not much. And then we also have a Illinois checklist that we did create. So we'll go over that and then go over the changes on the Wisconsin one as well. So if you have any questions throughout, just let me know. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same format that we currently have. There's just a few little things that we did add so that areas aren't forgotten about. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the dehire checklist first, just so that you can see that what we've changed here. The dehire checklist should be on your screen. Nothing has really changed throughout the top. However, I just want to highlight right here, since we do have the new business builder, we've had some questions regarding what we would have to do with the leads in business builder. Well, if you actually reassign the leads in lead router and business builder are connected, so they will automatically reassign in business builder. So if that agent has specifically said in business builder that that's a lead router contact, you reassign that in lead router, it'll reassign itself in business builder, so you don't have to go in both areas. So if you do have any questions when you do come to that, of course, always let me know, but just let you know that you don't have to do it in both areas, so we did highlight that. As you'll see in all of the forms as well, I do have in red copies to corporate. Just so you know, instead of, I think the other form just said CC for file, which is fine, but I just feel like in red you're able to view, okay, what do I actually need to get over to corporate office to make sure it's in the file. There was a little bit of a discrepancy in the sense of the other sheet. It said that the notice of termination and the employment form had to be filled out for Wisconsin, and right here it actually specifies, okay, for the notice of termination needs to be filled out, and then if they're going to be in referral realty, then you need to go and print off the packet where the other form is listed. So it's more straightforward as to where you need to find those forms. And then Illinois is a little bit separately, and then you physically mail their license to the state. So I just wanted to separate it that way. Again, then you'll have to do copies to the corporate office of just emailing the MLS, letting them know of the dehire, and just kind of either print off that email and save it so that when you do send the file over, we do have a copy that was done. Everything else here stayed the same. No changes there. Let's see here. What else did we change? Kept that the same. For Client Cloud, texting program, centralized showing. The one thing that many of you may or may not know is you obviously can't remove someone from 21 Online immediately. So right here it says for urgent terminations, as if you need to get the agent out of the system completely. But we did just do a side note is when you do terminate the agent in Account Tech, the agent will eventually be terminated in 21 Online. So just as long as it takes for when you add an agent into Account Tech, it takes about 48 to 72 hours for their information to show up in 21 Online. It also does the same thing to get them out of the system. So just so you know that you can always kind of mark that off. As long as you've removed them from Account Tech, they'll eventually get removed out of 21 Online. And of course, sometimes you can't remove them out of Account Tech right away because they have billings and whatnot, but of course those are always special situations. But I did just want to emphasize that as well. And then everything else is pretty much exactly the same. So just wanted to go through those light changes, and it's more just kind of giving some more information as to where these are going and what you need to do so that you can kind of have everything on one sheet. Does anybody have any questions on the dehire checklist? All right, looks like we're good there. Going to move on to the Wisconsin hire checklist that we changed. So we kind of changed the format. a little bit. Again, as you can see in red, we emphasized what copies need to come over to corporate. Everything stayed the same on the top. Pretty much kind of gives you a little bit in depth as to where to find everything. Nothing changed there. And I kind of tried to lay it out in order of what, how you should send it over in your packet. Kind of also would say here, we do have the section that the experienced agent and what real estate company that they belong to. So what happens if you do hire an experienced agent, we are able to, if it wasn't a Century 21 office that they were previously working for, every quarter we're able to record that, record any sales that they had, and turn it in for the company to actually get dollars off of their previous production. So in order to know where we need to pull from what MLS, it's really helpful for us to know what real estate company they work for so that we don't have to come and bug you for that information down the road when we do need to pull those files. And I'll go over that just a little bit farther down. There's also an experienced agent section on the new hire checklist. And then the new agent, copy of state education completion certificate. Right here we have the email request. Now again, everybody should have a Century 21 affiliated email request. Carrie wanted to emphasize that if you're unsure that the email address is available, just go ahead and email her. Oh, excuse me, and that's going to go ahead and email her. We don't need to do that right now. So you can do that, and then also for your password request, all characters must be at least 5 characters, and it start with a letter. So just let you know that you have that option as well, just so that you know how to go ahead and request your password. On the office admin steps, now this is where we kind of changed and gave you a little bit more detailed information. So enter agent into account tech, follow manual if needed, so that you know that there's a manual and it's on the dashboard. Also, big emphasis here, if the agent is a rehire, if they have worked for Century 21 sometime in their career, if it be 2004, 2007, anytime before that, do not re-enter them into account tech. All you have to do is unclick the terminate button, and that reactivates their profile in account tech. So again, do not re-enter them. Add agent into 21 online after 48 hours, and we all know that 48 hours is when you should look. However, it can go to 48 to 72 hours. We'll leave the 48 hours on the checklist, but just so that you know, if you don't see it after 48 hours, just wait another 24 and it should be there. Here's our CREST ID number and how to do that, how to add them. And make sure that you write down their 8-digit CREST ID number. A lot of us have been forgetting to write that down, and then we don't add that back to the dashboard. So we need to make sure that their CREST ID is written down. Otherwise, if they're on the dashboard and they're trying to do the one click from 21 online and they're not able to access it, it's because their CREST ID number is not written on their profile in the dashboard. All right, next one. Add all agent preferences to lead router. Make sure all agents are not marked participating, only active. So when we say that they're not participating, that means that they're not in the loop of calls, because since we do have the scrubbing system, we use Emily Matthews. So we want to make sure that the agent is active after they've taken their training, but we do not want them participating. So you go to add agent to century21affiliated.com. Instructions are on the dashboard under hire. Again, this kind of reemphasizes adding their 8-digit CREST ID number to the dashboard, just so you have a checklist that you've done that. We've got complete and submit the centralized showing sign-up form. It's in the new hire packet as well as on the dashboard. Create a toolkit login. There's the information there. Add email to group email distribution list. And if you have your own distribution list that you have on your own email, make sure that you're adding them to that as well. For Wisconsin, register the agent for zip forms. Here's the instructions on how to do that. Add or get agent professional photo. Here's the little section you can schedule a date if needed, just as a reminder. And also add professional photo to account tech perspective after 24 hours of entering them in account tech. If any of these are applicable, add phone extension and long distance code, add to scanner, make a mailbox, order business cards and name badge from Merrill, and again, those instructions are on the dashboard under staff hire. Complete the Look Who's Turned Gold and send a team leader and corporate admin contact, and right now that's myself. So make sure you finish that. And we are updating the list to give a little bit more of examples as to, what you can do for the Look Who's Turned Gold. Create login and password sheet and give to agent, and I'm updating that form as well. Verified license application is approved with state, so make sure that their license went through. And then look up the license a few days after the paperwork has been submitted. Since Wisconsin has been taking a little bit longer, 2 to 3 weeks, it's just kind of good that you have this reminder to go back and make sure that their license is active and they've received their license. Another one, update account tech with their MLS and license number. So once they get their MLS number, and their license number, make sure you go back into account tech and update that. And then right here, sign agent up for Sales Academy. So you want to make sure that we do that right away. So to go through those steps, and obviously some of these steps can't be done in the perfect order that they're in here, but as long as you have a checklist as to all the things that do need to be taken care of, to make sure to do that. Here's the section that I was talking about for the experienced agent. If you do have an experienced agent, you want to make sure that their MLS transfer is complete and they are with our office. And you also want to get a printable list of all the agent sales year to date for file. If they've never had any sales but they worked with a previous company, obviously that's fine. You can just write that in there. And then what happens is here, this is for the corporate office and the steps that we do after we receive the main paperwork in the team leader steps on the top. So now there's the sales associate orientation page, and this will be printed off in your hire packet, but again, you keep this yourself. I kind of wrote up here this checklist. You can keep this for your records. Of course, if you scan it over, it's not the end of the world by any means, but just let you know we don't need to see this checklist. Here we've kind of, some things may be a little bit redundant, but again, it's kind of good for you to have this information. Verify the agent has joined MLS and Realtors Association. Verify agent has signed up for local realtor orientation. Success tracks, Create 21 or Excel, and that's going to be per office team leader. So whatever the team leader actually spoke with this new hire on how they want to go about their training. Success track seems to be what we're leaning towards now within Sales Academy. But just if the agent has, or if the team leader has talked to the agent about these other 2 areas, that they know that that is accessible and available to them. But Success Tracks is probably the route that most team leaders are going to be going at this point. What else we got? We got a question here. So how do you sign up the realtor for realtor orientation? So you just want to make sure that it's basically for their MLS. So you want to make sure that they got the information from whichever MLS once they receive their MLS ID. So you want to make sure that they're taking that free, I don't know if they can go online, and I think you can go live, at least for our MLS here, and make sure that they're all signed up and ready to learn how the MLS works rather than you having to go through everything and every aspect of the MLS with them. They have those tools available to them directly from the MLS. So you just want to verify that with the agent that they've done so. Does that answer your question? Okay, perfect. All right, next would be give sales associate office access, tour, introduction, set up the agent with workspace, laptop, general office orientation, how the phone system works, how the scanner, fax, copier, and each office may have their own hire packet on telling the agent, how everything works. So if you have that, that's wonderful. Discuss floor time, bulletin boards, and that's each office is run a little bit differently, so you'll have to just kind of base off what your office does and how you're going to give them orientation. Set up, assist agent in setting up, enhancing your Realtor.com, and there's directions on the dashboard on how to do that. Assist agent in setting up free agent profiles on Trulia, Zillow, Home Finders, and Homes.com. Any questions on those, on how to do that or enhance those, Carrie will be your go-to girl on that. Complete the lead router areas, add the lead router number to agent's cell phone and set up mobile, and then also agent to inform you when the mandatory training has been completed. What I wrote on here is have them take the training 2 days after being hired, and that's just a reminder to see if they've done it. But if you can encourage them to do so, because then obviously once they get on lead router and they become a part of the Emily Matthews team or not, they still can get those listing leads if they do if they're a big lister. So make sure that they take that training. That's one of the #1 steps that we encourage all new agents to do. Review the tools and systems, have their password sheet filled out or available to you to fill out. And this goes through going through the dashboard, centralized showing, lead router, golden ruler, CSL learning system, ExpressDocs mail marketing, toolkit, the RAIN texting program, and information about the daily newsletter. About these two, the texting program, you just want to let them know that that's available in a system that they don't have to pay for. It's readily available. All their listings pull over to the texting program format. So you just want to make sure that you inform them about that if they're not aware of it. And inform them about the daily newsletter, that they'll be getting that on right away after their email is activated. We add them to the system. They automatically get a welcome email from RAIN, and it gives them their username and password. So we've got that right away. And then right here we've added this section, enroll the agent in the following classes. There are great classes that are available on 21 Online that either the agent may stumble upon or we don't even know about because we've never done it. So we really think this is a great start to getting them involved in training themselves a little bit on 21 Online and what opportunities they have. So I've left the one in yellow, and I'm going to leave that there because that is one that we automatically, once we get their 21 Online username and password, need to enroll them right away in. This is one that they have to do to make sure that they can start getting those leads. So I'm going to leave that one in yellow as a go-to mandatory you need to sign them up for. The rest of them, all you have to do is once you're logged in under their 21 Online account is find these classes and just click launch, close out of it, and then they're automatically signed up for those classes. And once they go in to my training in 21 Online, they'll see all of these classes are set up for them. And all they have to do is click launch so that they're able to go and take these classes. So I think that this is a great format in order to get these agents started right away and show them all the tools and videos that we have available to them. So that would be page 2. So that's going to be your page that you keep and how it's going to be, how you're going to help train the sales associate in their orientation. Does anybody have any questions regarding how this page is laid out? All right. Looks like we're good there. And then what we're going to do is just go over also the Illinois new hire checklist. Now we did format this specifically to them since they do a little bit, Illinois does things differently than Wisconsin and vice versa. So the top team leader steps, we have independent contractor agreements, include any addendums, and we also added that the E&O will be in the ICA. So with the prorated check, obviously that's something that you guys haven't been doing, so we included that in the ICA because Adam and Tom do take care of that portion of that. And then consultant profile, copies of corporate, automatic bill pay, complete direct deposit or decline form, operation guidelines, multiple listing application, and just directions as to they pay their fees online via credit card. Just make sure that the agent prints out a confirmation receipt and welcome email for the file. We have new agent, make sure you get their sponsor card, score report, copy of check of the $125 that they send to the IDFPR, and copy of education completion certificate. Experienced agent, you need a copy of their old signed off license, letter to state saying why original license cannot be submitted, copy of sponsor card, and copy of check for $25. And then also an area of stating what their previous real estate company was that they worked for. And then also kind of an area here. We do have a UPS account, so if you do ship UPS, just print off the receipt of shipment to either IDFPR or AMP, just so that you have that in the file as well. And then you can go ahead and send that paperwork over to New Hire Act. Everything else around here, the email request has stayed the same. Same with account tech, add agent after 48 hours, lead router. Let's see here. We did keep the toolkit login. I know some of the offices don't use it, but if you just sign them up so that you know that they have that available to them, it's also just a great tool for if they use a different CMA Cloud. I think that's one that Illinois uses. If they use other programs, great, but just to know that Toolkit is a free program, that they are able to create CMAs through that and any listing presentations. Go ahead and add them in the group email. I know some of the areas do not also take professional photos, but if they do, I did leave that on there. And then I think right now you guys don't use a zip form. It has been talked about to do an Illinois zip form. I did take that off for now, so that area is not on there, but eventually if that is the way that Chicago does decide to go, we'll go ahead and add that to the New Hire checklist. And then the same bottom steps, if the experienced agent, verify that with the board, just making sure that the transfer has been complete, and then get a printable list of their agents' sales year to date for the file. And then the corporate office steps stay the same. And pretty much the sales orientation stayed the same as well. I don't think everything, yep, I think everything stayed the same regarding that as well. So there's just a few different things versus Illinois and Wisconsin's New Hire checklist, but this, everyone needs it catered to what they need to be doing rather than having their own copies. So we just wanted to make it easier for all offices to make sure that you had your own checklists. What's going to go on is we will start this. I'm going to try to get everything uploaded by Monday. So currently in the next 3 days, if you do have new hires, obviously use the other forms, no big deal. We'll get them fillable on the dashboard, so they're PDF fillable if you choose to type it in. Obviously, we will update the whole packet. We'll get that ready. We'll get these checklists up and running. Please, when you do any new hires, I know it's sometimes easier just to print out, 20 packets, but sometimes we do change the forms, then we have old forms in there. I know that we do have a brand new the consultant profile record file completed, and that's a new sheet. And so if we could, kind of just print off a new hire checklist right from the dashboard each time, then you'll have the most updated files. It would be much appreciated. I will send out an email once everything is uploaded and we're good to go there. So as of right now, I think we're all good. But does anybody have any questions regarding any of the checklists? All right, perfect. Well, I will kind of send out a really short recap, obviously, once we are able to check out any of these checklists, and you guys have any suggestions or anything, obviously, always let me know. I won't go in depth on the recap by any means, since it's all written right here in front of us, but I will send out a recap and then get that available to you. We have been recording this, so I'll get that on the dashboard as well as soon as possible. So yeah, I will definitely let you guys know when everything is up and running. I just wanted to thank you for joining today and have a great rest of your day.